All right, well, we have an SVL 75. I just got approval. They told me that the front idler is warranted. So I'm going to show you guys though how to pull this apart. Have I done this before? Absolutely not. I have on other machines. I've never had a Kubota apart, so we're going to find out together. The only thing I've done is I put some 6x6s underneath the back. If you stack two up, two 6x6s on top each other, I'll just show you. And you put them off to the side because there's a pan underneath there. So you go on either side of your pan. There's kind of a rail right there on either side. If you do that, I feel like that's real safe. I put my smooth bucket on. I put a piece of OSB on the ground so I can push the machine up with the bucket. That's how I did it last time. That's how I'm doing it about every time. So I've already taken my plate off. A viewer of me putting the bogey wheel on, he actually told me a good idea. I just don't have one to try it. He said a guy took a grease tube, slid a grease tube over this, and took his track tension off that way. And then the grease tube held the grease in it. I don't know. That's a good idea. Gotta have snap-on. Exchange my ratchet. It's dead. I killed it on something. Just heard the track crack. So it should be dropping here fairly quick. There it goes. It's making its little noise. Let's see if I can get this piece here. So I usually just pull them all the way out. What I do is I just walk up the track. Usually do that, it gets about every bit of grease out of it. Hang on. But if you can do it like that, that means that you clean your undercarriage out pretty good. Or it's a very loose machine. This machine only has 600 hours on it, so I wouldn't say this should be loose, but we're going to investigate what all's in there. And then, see, I pull the rag out, and it's right there, and you literally roll it up, and there's no mess in there. It all went on there. I'm just going to go ahead and double wrap it just in case. Generally what I do is I sit it somewhere, I do the job, I hold my hand, I'll just show you guys, and I'll waste a glove. Let's not waste a rag. Stuff's expensive anymore, even rags. So normally I'll do that. I take it with my glove. You can throw that away. Then if you're done, you put that in that hand and you close it off, and that grease won't come out. But let me go get another glove now. And I'm going to attempt to do this by myself. It's probably not the smartest thing I've done today, but I don't want to bother my buddy. He's over next door. I don't want to bother him. My wife will probably help when she gets home, if I'm not done yet, or if I'm under the machine. But I think I've got enough slack on it. I can at least get it pulled off. I think. We'll see. Let's start the machine up and get it lifted up. See what we can do. hardest part is gauging, okay, is that high enough, too high when you're in there by yourself? I'd like to get the front of it off. I don't know. This may be easier to do. And I know what people are going to say, you have an excavator. I know. I didn't think about it already back then. I already had the blocks up. We just won't change what already started. Not all you guys have an excavator. Okay, that went back in quite a ways more. That was almost. Come on, up this. Trying to get you guys the shot also. Man, this is so easy with two people. So hot right now. It's like 95 degrees. Sorry, the machine's making some weird noise. Like to show you that you can get this off with no special tools besides a big pry bar. I'm almost there. It's been a long day already, so give me a minute. I know you're not happy. how hot it is right now. Whew. All right, we should be able to let it down, and I'll pick the boom up a little bit so we can get that idler out. All right, hopefully it's not sitting on the ground. It's not, but it does have a lot of dirt in it from that backfill yesterday. I was doing that backfill for a day and a half, and it got compacted pretty good. All right, got some gloves. Probably won't be able to use them because I'll just sweat through them. And I know, I have an excavator, I know. But like I said, a lot of you guys don't have an excavator. Do you have a pry bar? Would you go buy a pry bar over buying an excavator? There you go. That's why I'm doing it this way. Alright, for all intents and purposes, the carriage is out, or whatever you want to call that piece. Alright, then what you do, unbolt your bolt. $17 millimeter. And then if you get an idler from Kubota, it comes with these arms, so you don't have to do anything to it. It's all the way back. Okay, let me show you guys this because I was a little upset when I seen this. By the way, there's no front idler videos that I found on YouTube. I figured it ain't cheating. That's why I make these videos. If you guys don't know what's in here or what you're getting into, and you need to know beforehand, that's why I try to do videos like this. I hope you guys enjoy the videos. But see, I was looking at this and I'm like, man, I was actually mad that it already wore that. That's not worn. That's actually made into that piece all the way back. Same thing here. I thought it was worn up here. That's not worn. That's actually made into this cast, or into this channel iron piece. So there's there's no really wear to speak of in there that I can feel, and you really don't see any irregular wear. So anyways, if you can run yep, I can't even, it's hot. I'm sorry, it's hot. I just checked, it's 101 degrees and it's very humid. If I didn't have this fan on me, I'd be in a pool, a swimming pool of sweat. It'd be gross. So sorry. If you can run a pry bar, those are, I used to call them rock bars. I still call them rock bars. But if you can run you a pry bar, you can get your track off by yourself. I'm an old fat guy and I got it off. It was very simple. It's not extremely difficult. And like I said, take your tension off, and when I push this in it, push the rest of the grease out. I've got some more grease in there to clean up. And then you need a 17, what do you need? You need a 17 millimeter and a 19 millimeter. 17 millimeter pulls the two bolts off, and 19 releases the deal. You need a bucket on your machine. You need probably the equivalent of one 8-foot 6x6. and you cut 2-foot sections and you block them up. You see back there in the back, I showed you, I've got 2 blocks stacked up, and it does really well. And then you need a 17mm with a wobble to pull that idler out. All right, I'm going to try to show you this. So the idler's out of the machine. Can you see that? I'm doing that by hand, holding the idler. Hopefully that shows up in video. Now, I think that idler is about $800 to $850 aftermarket. I'd assume the dealer's probably $1,000. What if you had to replace that? I am replacing that, but let me tell you this. So your Kubota dealer has the option, they can warranty out just the part, no labor. They can't charge Kubota labor, but they can charge out just the part and warranty the part if you as the customer want to replace it. I know I had a lot of people say, hey, I thought your machine was under warranty. It is. The shop's like two to 3 weeks behind, and he's like, hey, I know you know what you're doing. We need video, we need pictures, we need this and that. Jason actually came out and looked at the machine and did all the, you know, whatever they have to do for warranty. You have to have a picture of the machine all the way around it. You have to have a picture of the failure. If they don't approve that, then you have to do another picture or a video. I did a video. And they approved it, so they warrantied out the part. I pulled it out yesterday. I went and picked it up today. So that's how I am changing out a part, and I did not have to buy it. Yes, my machine's under warranty, and they will warranty out just the part. Now, I don't know if that's to dealer, discretion or something like that. Like if, Joe Schmo comes in, I bet you I could do it. They might not warranty out the part. I don't know. But my dealer, one of my dealers, I can warranty out the part. That's what I do. That's how I get a brand new part, and I tell you what was covered. Same thing with the bogey wheel. I wanted to show you guys the bottom roller replacement, so I said, hey, do they still do that? And he said, yeah, if you want to switch out the part, we'll warranty the part out. So that's what I did. That's what I'm doing now, because I looked around to see, I had never put an idler in a Kubota, and I didn't know what was entailed, and I'm like, I'd like to figure it out, and that way I know what's in there. And 2, now we'll have a video on how to replace an idler on a Kubota. I'm sure it doesn't matter, but the snap ring was outboard on my other one, and as you know, I have some self-diagnosed OCD, so I'm going to put the snap ring outboard on this one. I'm sure it does not matter. I couldn't imagine that would matter whatsoever. Pretty easy to manhandle by yourself. Start all the bolts. I'm going to hold this up and tighten it down. Yes, that's the proper torque spec. I don't know if it is or not. I've done things the same way this whole time. We haven't had major issues yet. Alright. Slide this over here. Get that lined up. Put your hand through there so you don't have pinch points. What am I stuck on? I'm stuck on that one, but it's like there we go. Okay. Everybody asks about the play in it. That's how much play is in it with a brand new idler in it. Same back air. But let's see. So that's about there. Hang on, let me get the same pry bar that we checked this with before. No play. Now, so my buddy Speedbinder Jeremy, if you're in our Yamar group, you know who Speedbinder Jeremy is. He's one of my moderators, or he is the moderator rather. He told me, I guess in the video I sent him, it looked like I had end play, which means it is going with the shaft for all intents and purposes. End play would be, you know, in and out play like this. He thought the idler was moving back and forth like this. In the video, it was real hard to get. It was not doing that. Let's get you pan down. It was not moving in and out like that. The video was real hard to see, or to see what was going on. But as I load this against the backside there, and I'm doing the same thing as I did before, this does not have, he called it axial play. I'd almost say it's torsional because it's moving against the shaft. End play would be like this. Torsional or axial, he called it axial, I would call it torsional. Either way would probably explain it to me. This bearing was moving like this. Now there's no play in that. I mean, obviously I'm moving the bearing up and down in the undercarriage, but as I'm checking it like I did before, now there's a little bit of end play in it, but it's not torsional like it was before. All right, I'm gonna leave the machine running just to keep pressure in the system. Feel like that'd be okay. I'm gonna kick the fan up to high, so you won't be able to hear me or anything. Just watch what I'm doing, and you'll see that you can put this track on. It may be a little difficult. I'm gonna use 2 rock bars or big pry bars, and it may be a little difficult, but you can do it by yourself. But it's 95 degrees before noon, and it's really hot. So I'm gonna kick the fan up, and let's get going. just got done doing the idler, and I told you, well, I can't remember what Kubota says the process they actually want you to do to tension your tracks. Threw my grease gun on it, I checked it, I've got the back idler off the ground, front idler off the ground. They say to measure down from this wheel to the track, and it needs to be 0.8 to 1.2 inches. And we are, let's get you guys down here, hang on. So you can see directly in there maybe. All right. We are, about 1 7/8. So let's grease it up. Not quite an inch. I figured I'd put it at an inch. There you go. There's an inch. All right, let's take this off. We'll let the machine down, and then we'll see how much slack. I mean, there's, well, I guess the machine doesn't have to be, well, yeah, it will. Hang on. Just got my bucket down on some OSB so it doesn't mess up my floor. Okay. We'll go ahead and kill the machine. I've got some other stuff to do. Let's see. I mean, that's a little tighter than this side. This side I haven't slacked up, or I haven't adjusted tension on it in a while. So this side needs to actually go up a little bit, but I'm going to switch this track around. If you look, I've showed you before, these are the Camso SD tracks. Camso SD, and they are 486/52. So these are 16-inch wide tracks, and the pattern is a SD pattern. It's Camso, but these arrows here, that's the direction of traction. It's got these step blocks. That's supposed to help you with traction. I told you before, I switched them around testing to see if I could get better traction going up hills with the brush cat on the front. I don't think it really changed anything that way, but I think it actually hurt me a little bit going forward. So I don't know how these little step blocks would give you more traction, but it seems like they do. So I'm going to take this side off. Since I had that side apart, I put it the right direction. I'm going to take this side apart. I'm going to check everything while I'm in there, spin the track, put it back on, and hopefully not have a heart attack. It's hot. But that's how Kubota says to tension it. I wanted to put it at an inch, so I'm right in between 0.8 and 1.2. I guess the my idler is sticking out about as far as it did before, maybe a little less, because I think that side stuck out quite a ways, and that side over there is sticking out about like this side now. So anyway, some of the machines seem like they sit in a little further. It might be my Camsos. These tracks have 800 hours on them maybe. They might be stretched out a little bit. I don't know. Seems like Corey's 65, the idler was in a little bit more. The 75 today I looked at, it was in a little more. Mine's out about, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 inch, if that. 3/16 out further than everything else, which in the grand scheme of things is not a big deal. Anyways, hope it helps. That's putting the front idler on and tensioning your track properly. They want you to go to that second bogey wheel back there with the machine up off the ground, both idlers off the ground, measure straight down to your track, 0.8 to 1.2 inches. Set it where you want it, let her fly. See you guys, I hope it helps.